Just 3 points at half-time. What can they come up with in the second half? Sandilands in the ruck against Jamar. Heffernan, first possession of the term, gets it to Whelan. To half forward, Neitz goes to ground, play on the call. Green's wrapped up. We'll have a bounce. Let's head boundary side. Mark Doran.
Well, the good news for the Dockers is that Pavlich is back out there, but the bad news is Jeff Farmer has done a groin, and I think we've seen the last of him for the day.
So right on 50. Hazelby tries to spin out of traffic, flips one over the top to Cook. He emerges from the congestion, kicks to half forward. Medhurst and Waterhouse. Medhurst decided to stay down, but the bounce suited Green. Handball to Williams. Over the top to McDonald. He can go to 50. He's got a loose man. It's Heffernan. He marks, trots to 45, balances, steps inside Bell, had to go on the left, and still kick the goal. The Demons are in front. Who would have thought it? They trailed by 33 points, 12 minutes into the third term. They kicked the last 5 goals of the second quarter, and the first of this one to lead by 3 points.
And that man you just saw kick that goal, I thought he played a big part in Melbourne getting back into the game in the second quarter, had a lot of possessions. He's playing on Troy Cook. And just a rebound, Brad Green, Kevin Bartlett said before in the first half, good to see him in midfield. McDonald, Heffernan, I thought he made it a bit harder than what he should have here, KB, because he was on his preferred foot, but on the left, shows you've got a lot of confidence in your own ability.
The Demons by 3 points. Life's good. Started this third term. They trailed by 33. Confidence now high. Cook out of the centre square for the Dockers. Headlands got an ugly bounce. Ward just hacks it off the ground. It's a kind bounce. Boundary throw in. Godfrey has had the job on Des Headland. He's done it well. He's had some big jobs this year. Hazelby struggled really to have an impact on the game so far. Can't trap it as Cook. Take 2.
He's had 7 possessions, Paul Hazelby, where he's normally a 25 to 30 possession player. You can see there Sandilands, I think it was that last ruck contest out of the centre bounce, limping at the moment.
Sandlin's over the top, looking for Walker. Sets it up, Hazelby, speak of the devil. A centering kick, and a good one. Longmuir has marked directly in front, and this to put the Dockers back in front.
Well done to Aaron Sandilands, because there's no doubt he's in a bit of pain. He's got to that ruck contest, got his hands on the ball. Walker, and very smart play. No way of converting from there, and centred the ball. Too much body strength, Justin Longmuir.
This should put the Dockers 3 points up. Leans back and kicks a goal.
I just wonder if we're going to see the start of this quarter the same as was the first quarter for the first 10 minutes, where it was just 50-50, not a lot of defence played. But there it is, Sandilands tap behind, maybe a set play. And Hazelby, of course, playing the percentages, getting it to the top of the square. You're a bigger chance of converting out there.
So Aaron Sandilands comes to the bench. May have an injury problem. We'll check in with Mark Doran shortly. Longmuir's goal coming at the 3-minute mark of the third term. Their previous goal was Jeff Farmer 7 minutes into the second. So for a side who's been scoring heavily in recent weeks, it dried up for the Dockers. Whelan to Heffernan. Short to Jamar. His 4th touch. In his 4th game of football, the youngster from Port Perry in South Australia goes looking for Green. He takes the mark, opposed to James Walker. 16th touch for Brad Green, and an important player in Melbourne's resurgence. Holds it up. Assesses his options. Goes inside 50, Neitz. Back to the trend of early in the game. This time it's Hazelby who draws the short straw to stand in front of the thundering David Neitz lead.
He did it well.
The Dockers players want to go on with it. Peter Vardy in there. With Woods. Meantime, the ball's come out to half-back, and the mark's taken by Walker. Around the wing, Cook, straight through his hands, hit him in the face, and went to the boundary, which is where you'll find Mark Doran.
And where you'll also find the ankle of Aaron Sandilands, which was rolled, and as you can see, they're taping it up now, and they hope to get him back out there. Andrew Leoncelli had a jab at half-time, and he's back out on the ground with his ankle now okay.
Here's the big size, 18 feet. Fair bit of tape to wrap around that. Leoncelli to McDonald to Uze. Melbourne growing in confidence, inside 50. Out on the lead was Leoncelli, pitched in front of him. Vardy did well, won it at ground level. Carr wraps him up, no support. Throws it on the boot. Neats can dish to Uze. Fumbles under pressure. And the Dockers dodge a bullet. Grover to Bell. To the wing. One-on-one, Medhurst takes the mark. Just his second touch. Coming off 4 possessions last week. His quietest ever game at league level. Paul Medhurst. Needs a lift in the second half. Goes inboard. Carr was the target. Had Polak in support. Chips to 50. Wide open space for Coops to run onto. Good pressure from Bizzle. Brown there in support for the Demons. Handball out to Whelan. He goes short and finds Wheatley at half-back.
Brown's been very good. He's had 18 possessions for Melbourne across half-back. Wheatley start on the bench. Chance now. Pounced on by Rigoni. Centering kick. Vardy's the target. Hit him on the chest. Just couldn't hang on to the Sherrin. Uze paddles the ball along in front. Does well. Wild hand pass. Need a kind bounce. Working hard. Trying to come through again was Vardy. Couldn't take it. Just 35 metres out from the Demons' goal. They'll pile on top. And we've got a ball up.
You mentioned earlier, Tony, the game was being played on Fremantle's terms. It's now being played on Melbourne's.
Yes. No one. There's one-on-ones all around the ground. No free players in Fremantle's defence at the moment.
Dockers by 3 points. 8-2-50 plays. 7-5-47. J-Mar had it and lost it. Quick snap.
Oh.
Is that Robertson? He's kicked a goal. Russell Robinson hasn't had the greatest of days so far, but that's what he can do. He's had it 9 times, and somehow he conjured up a goal. J-Mar was pulled off the ball that time by Woods, and look at this. That's what we call a quick snap, Tony.
Well, they're dangerous players, aren't they, KB? He's had 9 kicks, or 9 possessions. Dion Woods, the man who's playing on him, has had 9, but that's what he's there for. Give him 5 minutes, and he can kick 3 goals very quickly.
So the third change of the lead in 7 minutes sees Melbourne back in front. Crucial game in the context of their season. They sit at 3-5. Must win this afternoon. McDonald to Green. Thumps it long inside 50. Neats and Hadrell. Cavalry arrives for the Dockers in the form of Polak. Got a fist to it. Robertson couldn't quite gather. It's turned into a real scrap at ground level. Uze got boot to ball. Playing will be the call. Bell slapped it to Cook. He's wrapped up. Bell goes again. Shammer back to Cook. Melbourne scrapping well in close. Heffernan wrapped up by Grover. And the Dockers just cannot find their run off half-back at the moment. Melbourne ferocious.
Well, that's the pressure you want when you're sitting in the coach's box and the side's trying to release the ball from their defence. Great pressure by the Melbourne forwards.
J-Mar flips it backwards. Whelan, Rigoni it was, to Wheatley. Pavlich stands tall. Just worked Leoncelli under the ball. Takes the relieving mark at defensive 20. Loose man to the outer side. It's Headland. Haven't seen much of loose play since really early stages of the second term for the Dockers. That's where it's dried up for them. Walker, they've got it going this time. He'll go inside 50. Longmuir the target, a couple to beat. At ground level, Shammer explodes away from the congestion. Byron Shammer kicks his first goal in league football. And the Dockers are back in front. 4th change of lead in 9 minutes of footy.
Well, I haven't seen a lot of Byron Shammer, and if you're talking about front and centre and how to do it so well and then show some poise, well, he's got a bit of class, this kid, because that's how you get front and centre of the pack. At top speed, very hard to do at any time, and then he could have kicked this ball off balance, but no, I've got a little bit of time. That is very good play and a lot of poise for a youngster.
Dockers by 3 points. That young man from South Australia, one of their stars in the under-18 carnival last year. 9-2-56 the Dockers. The Demons 8-5-53. Simmons comes charging in against his old side against Jamar. Going to ground was McDonald. Heffernan's been fantastic for the Demons. Pumps the ball back. He's looking for Uze. It's on 50. Neitz comes out, makes a collision. Uze somehow half stumbles, does well, gets the ball away to Brown. Just keeps winning the ball from half back. Great vision, sets it up. Thompson has to go. Great chasing and tackling. Caught. Carr just shoveled the ball out somehow. Polak had it and lost it. Melbourne now making a real scrap. Tough in close. Good in the clinches. And we've got a ball up 60 metres out from the Demons' goal.
Well, the Melbourne supporters wanted throwing the ball from Polak. I don't think he had total control of it, as we see here. Tried to pick the ball up.
That's a throw.
Oh,
thrown at one hand, Tony.
KP. That'd be a tough call by any umpire, I think.
That's in the rules. You can't throw the ball. Heffernan crunched that time by Coops. Wheatley did well, paddled the ball on. Uze, centre wing, stands and delivers. Penetrating kick, getting back. Simmons just building the wall. Some rebound now to Walker. A real ball carrier. Pumps the ball back towards half forward. Waterhouse was tied up that time by Ward. He was held. Yes, it was a good decision. Good umpiring. Waterhouse certainly held off the ball. Too far out to score. Sun in the eyes of the players down at the punt road end. Longmuir is going to be the target from behind. He's got it. He's a dangerous player.
Well, again, this will be another shot at goal from Longmuir, but the body-on-body strength against young Miller. No free kick there. I think Miller's saying that his jump was held, both in the contest. Gee, I don't know about that throwing the ball decision, KB, before.
Well, he's kicked a goal. He's kicked 15 for the season. Longmuir comes in, and the Dockers are 9 points up.
So Justin Longmuir with 2 for the quarter. And that's the game plan now, Tony. Get it in to a one-on-one because Longmuir too big and too strong for Brad Miller.
Well, they've probably targeted him, haven't they? I think Brad Miller, yeah, as I said, not strong in the body-on-body. So if everybody's manned up now in their forward line, they've got to pick someone to isolate, and it looks like he's the man for the third quarter.
Concedes 7 kilos and 6 centimetres, says Brad Miller to Justin Longmuir. And the change has been made. Ryan Ferguson now on a Justin Longmuir. Brad Miller comes to the bench.
Not a hell of a lot of difference in body-on-body strength either there with Ryan Ferguson.
Almost the same body size. In fact, Ferguson's 4 kilograms lighter. So back in the middle. Let's head boundary side. Mark Doran.
Well, if you have a look at Paul Hazelby, you'd be excused for thinking he's had major facial surgery. It's only actually a cut in the back of the head. He was involved in a clash with David Neitz not too long ago, and this is the modern way of stopping the blood flow, KB.
How big's that cut again?
It's only tiny, I think.
Can't you put a Band-Aid on it?
McDonald inside 50. Robertson dragged down. Dockers win it through Polak to Bell. It's modern technology, KB.
Must be an award in the AFL for who can bandage up the player in the most hideous manner.
Walker to Simmons. In fact, it was Polak flicked off his boot, and the Demons a chance from centre wing. Wheatley has it, but it's going to come back to Jamar. No, Wheatley's going to stay with it. Some confusion there.
I think Jamar was going to take the free kick, but he went off the ground.
Came off the ground, that's exactly right. The umpire said it's your ball. He said, I'm not here.
Well, they shouldn't be able to make that change, should they, Kevin? If he was the closest man to the infringement, he should take the free kick.
Correct.
And the change has to be made later.
Wheatley to Ward to Williams. All the W's for the D's. Inside 50. Good hands. Comes to Nathan Brown. He snaps at goal. And the Demons get one back. Great hands, Andrew Lee and Shelley. So Brown gets his second. And that was a vital goal because Fremantle just skipped away to a 9-point lead. It's now back to 3.
Well, 20 possessions and 2 goals from a half-back flanker. That's a great return in full game. He's still got a quarter and a half to go. Don't know about the kick, but he's pretty happy with it on his non-preferred. Good finish by Nathan Brown. Gee, he's ran hard, worked hard from defence. Had Jeff Farmer in the first half, who kicked 2 goals on him. Now he's even the ledger.
Great
return
hands
of the mummy there.
Great hands from Andrew Lee and Shelley just to flick that one out. The margin back to 3 points at the MCG.
Yes, he's been mummified, as Paul Hazelby. It's a free kick. Demons trail by 3 points. Heffernan on screen's been a terrific player today for Melbourne, along with Brown. They've got him back into the game. And there's Longmuir. He's already kicked a couple of goals in this quarter.
This has happened a bit to Melbourne over the last fortnight or nearly the month, KB. They've always had a key forward for the opposition dominate. Clint Bizzell's been in the best form of any Melbourne defender. Maybe it's time that he has to go to the best player in the opposition.
Well, they haven't had Nicholson or Ellis, have they? Longmuir, lovely kick. Straight through the centre. He's kicked 3 goals in this third term, and once again the Dockers go out to 9 points.
Well, it's not Clint Bizzell's fault that he hasn't been asked to take the responsibility on, but he has been the best player in defence for Melbourne, probably for the whole season. Now, sometimes he's a senior player. He'd be a lot smaller, no doubt, but maybe the body-on-body Ferguson's lighter, the Miller. Yep, let's ask the question of Clint Bizzell and say, let's go back and do the job for us.
7 centimetres shorter than Ferguson is Bizzell.
Yeah,
but
that doesn't
importantly,
matter.
4 kilograms heavier.
And a bit smarter as a youngster who's still learning the game in Ferguson.
Well, he was playing for Frankston last year.
Simmons the tap. Hazelby to Headland.
It's a big jump.
As was Hazelby.
It's a big jump, isn't it? Frankston to the AFL, so...
Playing on one of the most promising young players in the competition in Longmuir.
And look, Bizzell's playing on Crode. Crode hasn't had a lot of the ball. Maybe you swap it over and Ferguson can handle the Crode for the day.
Simmons flipped it back. Coops, the fall-away handball. Shammer over the top of it. Comes to Bizzell. He releases McDonald. Twist and turns to evade Crode. Gave a handball to Rigoni. To half-forward, Neitz and Hadrill. Hadrill did enough to bring it to ground, where the numbers were there in support. Hazelby.
Throw.
Call for a throw.
That was fantastic play by Neitz. He was 3 against 1.
Seen it a couple of times this afternoon. A little harsh, that decision. The mark taken by Hadrill. Shammer calls for it out wide in open space. He obliges, but the kick was ordinary. Godfrey stands up and takes it for the D's. Thumps it back to 50. Hadrill in position. Over the top, Robertson! Russell Robertson's mark of the week competition. McDonald to Neitz. To full forward. Chance for the Demons. Good play from Hayden. Just worked his way to the front of the contest against Vardy. Took the mark. Handball to Bell. To Hadrill. Links up with Grover. Evades Neitz. But they just haven't got that flow on football. So he thumps it long. Medhurst out of position. Williams got a hand in there. Actually spoiled his opponent in Ferguson, but Ward to Whelan. To Godfrey. Out to Wheatley. The D's are way around the outer side. Robertson the target again. Woods did well. Put up one hand. Brought it to the front of the contest. He lacked support. Heffernan in. Was legged. Free kick to the D's. Advantage paid. It's flipped out. Wheatley can flip it over the top. Here's Robertson. Didn't steady himself. Green. Still alive for the Demons. They pile in. Leoncelli, Hadrill, McManus. All in there. And a bounce 25 metres out from Melbourne's goal. They trail by 9 points. 7 minutes remaining until three-quarter time. And here's Russell Robertson's mark of the week. It's a regular segment. He is an exciting player.
11-2, 68. Great kicking by the Dockers. 9-5, 59 Melbourne. Ward from outside 50. Great smother by Bell. Ricochets back to Waterhouse. Tried to hit a target. Jolly overruns the ball. Bell, take 2, sets it up. Hazelby, can he see? I doubt it. McManus has been upended. Melbourne now flexing the muscles, blowing up the biceps, go crunch, and Heffernan gives it across to Whelan. To Ward, they'll set it up. Brown somehow got his boot to the ball, drops short, great hands, trying to crash his way through was Whelan. Good tackle. Pavlich now paddles the ball along for the Dockers. Melbourne are inspired. Neitz dumps him to the ground. Strong play by Melbourne. And it's a ball up just 20 metres out from goal.
Well, you can have all the high marks you want in this game, but people love watching what happened in that last stanza of play for about 20 to 30 seconds. Just hard, tough football from both sides.
Dockers by 9 points. Simmons got rid of his opponent. Armstrong thought he had it and lost it. McManus came through hard. Brown touch of the stumbles. Hadrill from the last line of defence, caught. Finds Hayden, back to Bell. The man with the dancing feet goes out of bounds. No, keeps it in. Chance now for Carr. Squeezed up on the boundary line. He's happy to see the ball over for a toss back in. Just under 6 minutes left in this third term. Melbourne haven't won a last quarter for the season, so you would think they'd have to be in front at three-quarter time. They trail by 9 points. Simmons down to Dion Woods. Impressive young man, McManus, tumbles the ball forward. Getting back is Williams. Needs support from Ward. Gets it. Goes short. Finds Wheatley. From centre wing, beautiful kick to Armstrong, who can run to 50. Armstrong, centering kick, Neitz is the target in front. Couldn't take it. Good defensive play by Hadrill. Loose ball, they'll need a crummer. Vardy, slow onto the scene. Hayden comes away from half-back. Backs himself in, on the charge. Wants to set it up and finds Polak.
On the back edge of the square, can switch it wide to Shammer. What an arm wrestle this match has become. Tough and physical. Headland went one-handed. Coops flipped it back to Longmuir. Been dangerous in the third term. Goes to the goal square. Size advantage for Sandilands. Wins the ball at ground level. Gets boot to ball and kicks it. Great play from the big fella. How did he do that? Aaron Sandilands. 211 centimetres, 114 kilos. Took three blokes with him, Tony, as he swung around, got boot to ball at the appropriate time, and the Dockers are back out to a 9-point lead.
Well, what's that, 7 foot in the old, or just over 7 foot. Great agility for a person that big, and he did it, nearly marked the ball and just backed up again. Fantastic play. As I said, great agility.
Great contest in the third term. It's been goal for goal, and the Dockers have snuck back out to that 9-point break.
Hasn't quite had his growth spurt yet, neither, Aaron Sandilands. So he should get to about 8'6". Bell wins it from the centre to Grover. Stands and delivers. Hammers the ball back inside 50. Longmuir couldn't take it. Pounced on. Coops. Quick snap. Kicks a goal. Well, that young man started on the bench. He's got a lot of talent. That was on full display.
Didn't even have time to correct myself and say it was 15 points. In the blink of an eye, it's 21.
Well, very good play from ground level. They've kicked 2 goals in different ways, haven't they? Sandilands trying to mark the ball. A big fella at ground level recovered, and Coops again front and centre. Gee, sometimes players kick on goal, but I'd rather see that, KB, than try and short pass when they're under pressure and turn it over. He just kicked it forward. Lucks of fortune went through. There's Sandilands. Still a bit sore, I think, from that centre bounce halfway during this quarter.
So Jolly in the ruck for the D's against Simmons. Uze got hands on it for Melbourne. The question now being asked of the Demons. Grover to Bell. The Dockers have weathered the storm. To McManus. Steps inside Robertson. Short to Carr. Back to McManus. To 65. Inside the 50. Crode leads the race to it. Tries to turn Bizzle around. Keeps it alive for Bell. Tracks back. Ferguson through traffic. To Brown. To Ward. To Uze. Demons need a steadying goal. Goes looking for Wheatley. He's got Polak to beat. Worked him under the ball and kept his feet. Wheatley from 60 metres. Thumps it long. Neitz and Hadrill. Bouncing ball. Thompson through his hands. Hadrill wrapped up by Vardy. Neitz grabbed it. He's taken in a tackle as well. It's fierce in there at the moment. And a bounce 15 metres out from Melbourne's goal. 3.5 minutes remaining until three-quarter time. We saw 4 changes of the lead in the first 9 minutes of the term, but in the last 15, the Dockers have snuck away to a 21-point lead. Rigoni hit the ball at pace, couldn't gather. Pavlich comes away from defensive 50, wants to draw. Heffernan, Carr to Walker. Now uncertain, looks up, back to Carr, who ran on in support, was good play. Carr will go to 50. The kick advantage is Whelan, and he makes the most of it to take the mark.
Cross half back. Melbourne trail by 21 points. They trailed by 16 points at quarter time, 3 points at half time. and hit the front for the first time in the third term, but now the Dockers have hit back. Ferguson. Young man from Frankston, his first year of AFL football, finds Armstrong. Sets it up, looking for Thompson. So all of a sudden, the Dockers have flooded back. No open holes for Melbourne. Thompson just trying to make something out of nothing. Looking for Bizzle. Couldn't take it on the half volley. Armstrong. Good chasing by Cook. Drops short. Looking for Robinson. Second grab. Poor kick. And Woods comes away and puts it out of bounds on the full. So Melbourne get another chance. Here's Aaron Sandlands. Let's go down to Mark Doran.
He come out of the Melbourne race, KB. He hasn't changed sides. The doctor, who's running out now behind him, just took him in there to fix what I think was a dislocated finger. So doing the dirty work, if you like, behind closed doors.
Bizzle to Wheatley. Did well, virtually tickle the ball up from Godfrey, and Wheatley hammers the ball back inside 50. Plenty of players back for the Dockers, taken by Walker.
Too slow and too indirect there, KB. Needed a goal before three-quarter time to get back in the contest.
So Carr, cross half back, driving the Dockers to the edge of the centre square.
Yeah, good decision by the umpire.
It was it blocked?
Yeah, against Hazelby.
Blocked his run. Uze. So Melbourne, can they kick a late goal? Just over a minute there, plus penalty. 50. So the ball will come back. Now a goal was kicked, but the ball will come back because it's a 50-metre penalty, and Uze will be shooting from around about 35 to 40 metres.
Well, it's an understatement to say that they needed this before three-quarter time. Just prior to that free kick, gee, the way that Melbourne used the ball wasn't good enough, was it? They just chipped it sideways about 4 or 5 times, had to get the ball in their 50 very quickly. Now Uze, you'd love the ball to be in the hands. Here it is, no doubt a free kick for Shepherd off the ball.
He's kicked 6 goals for the season. Important kick for the Demons. They get them back to 15 points. 65 seconds left. Uze doesn't like it. Doesn't like it. And it's a bad miss.
That hurts.
Opportunity goes begging. Because when the ball was played on, they actually kicked the goal. They had to come back because time off had been blown. McManus to Cook, and it could be an 11-point swing going back the other way. Because Cook thumps it high inside 50 to no one in particular. They'll converge. Bizzle. 16 possessions, 4 marks for Clint Bizzle. Switches to Heffernan. They've got 35 seconds. The D's need a goal. Around the wing to a 2-on-1. That's a relayed free kick. Heffernan dumped after he got rid of it. So still time for Melbourne. 15 seconds left on the clock. Vardy's got to get it in. They need a mark. We're down to 10 seconds. 5 seconds for Vardy. Will they have time to mark it? It goes right to the line. Neitz! Good mark. Taken by Polak. Neitz just roughs him up a bit, and it is on at three-quarter time. Bit of a scuffle. Players from both sides in there. A few headlocks being put on. Neitz in the middle of it. His opposing skipper Bell in there too. Fremantle players just not appreciating the pressure put on Polak after the mark was taken. And Neitz still wants to go on with it. McManus and Pavlich happy to oblige, and David Neitz has got his jumper in tatters. Well, is Melbourne's season in tatters? They trail by 20 points at three-quarter time. They need the win. Back with the final term action right after this.